Pops. Let's talk life tonight, man.
Hold on, man. Have you seen these games? Come on.
I guess we could talk life and sports betting.
What is going on, people? Welcome to episode 5 of Life and Betting. I am your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined here by my man, Lapops, and we are Major Playz. What's happening, man?
What is happening, you gabagoos? You major playerinos?
How's life? Gabaroo, whatever the hell you just said.
Gabagoo.
Gabagoo. How's life, Gabagoo? Huh? How you doing?
It ain't bad, honestly. I'm just going with the flow, man.
You're just going for the flow?
Yeah.
I'm
waiting for some warm weather so we can hit the links, I'll tell you.
You're waiting, huh? You're waiting. Well, that's in today's topic.
Oh! You don't say! You don't say!
I do say.
What's the topic for today, Michael?
So today's topic for this episode is waiting versus taking action. So, we've all been victim of this. We've all waited for something, we're all sitting, waiting on the world to change, we're all waiting.
He's been waiting to just say that line.
We're all sitting there waiting on the world to change, and we're being patient. We're waiting for the stars to align.
Yeah.
For something. It could be a promotion at work. It could be to start your own little small business that you've been wanting to. Go chase after your dreams. Try out for the play that you always wanted to be in Broadway. Something. Everybody's got something that they always wanted to do, but for some reason they just find themselves waiting.
Maybe they're...
For what?
For what? Yeah.
For what? So let's get into that. Let's get into waiting first, and then,
We're going to get deep. We're going to pick at your brains, and we're going to just...
That's the idea
hammer it
of
home.
This podcast. That's the idea of this podcast, for us to have conversations and for you to sit back, relax, enjoy the, listen or video, and also, think about your own life and think about, how we all can evolve here, how we all can level up.
And how we all relate to one another.
Exactly. We're all in this together. So let's
cha-cha real smooth.
We all know what waiting is.
Yeah.
Cha-cha real smooth. We all know what waiting is. I don't need to say what is waiting. We all get that. Okay? So let's start off where waiting might actually be in your favor.
Okay.
Okay? Let's think of the positive first. The only one that I could come up with was big purchases. Making sure you can afford something before you go out and actually pull the trigger on the car that you always wanted, or pull the trigger on the bigger house, or your first apartment if you're in your early 20s, mid 20s.
Okay, would you consider this waiting? Now let's say you're working at a company for like 15 years. Yeah, I know it's a long time, but
that's a long time.
Finally, after waiting 15 years, you finally get that position you've been wanting. But it took 15 years, but you finally got it. Would you consider that good waiting?
Well, it's to each their own. If you're comfortable in that position, if you're making a good living, if you're able to live the life that you want, you're able to go on vacation, you're able to do everything that you want to be doing, and then you finally get the big promotion and finally, work your way up. That kind of goes with taking action a little bit. You took action in your job, you performed well, it took a long time, you were patient, but you finally did get it. Now, some people wait 15 years and they never get it. They're still in the same stuck position. And then it comes into factor, okay, well, is this job providing for you? Is it doing everything that you need it to do? Or should you just move on? The waiting game is unfair to you. You're waiting for nothing. Some people wait for nothing.
Well, yeah, but...
It's to each their own, realistically.
Really, yeah. There's many different topics we can...
You can, assess your own life and see,
right.
Where have I waited where it didn't necessarily pay off? Or where did I take action and it did pay off and I'm glad I didn't wait? But realistically, the only thing that I can really say in my life would be big purchases. Just making sure you can afford something. Don't extend your credit cards if you don't have the money to pay it off. Mm-hmm. Don't pay that interest if you don't have to pay it. You know what I mean? Don't go buy a house and live above your means and then you got to go get a second job on Saturday instead of going to the golf course. Right?
That or a second mortgage, right?
Or a second mortgage. There's a lot of different things that people do and they take action just a little bit too early financially. Now, going into debt sometimes is good debt. If you're taking action and trying to start your own business or different things like that. But I'm saying big purchases that always aren't the best assets, specifically a car. Specifically a car.
You're big on that.
I'm huge on a car.
That should be a show in itself.
It should, 100%. But I'm big on that. Don't go out and buy a big car you can't really afford because it's a depreciating asset. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's done.
For me, it's clothes. For you, it's cars. For me, it's clothes.
Yeah.
Why do you need $300 shoes, $300 purse?
Sometimes it looks nice.
Okay.
Gives you confidence when you walk out, you know?
Okay,
Gabagoo.
Gabagoo to you too. I could understand maybe one pair or so, but if you're talking 10 plus pairs, what are you doing?
That's my 50.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I don't know.
But that's your little collection. I mean, you could always resell it. That's
sure.
You take good care of them.
As long as they
look great.
Yes, and luckily the shoe game is a big thing. But
sure.
It depends on what you're buying. I get what you're saying. So let's look at some consequences of waiting. Now, I personally think that there's a lot more negatives than there is positives here. So the one main one, it's kind of an umbrella, but loss of control. You're not controlling your own actions. You're not controlling your own life. You're not controlling what you're doing. You're simply just waiting on the world, and you're waiting for everybody else's actions around you to kind of dictate what the hell you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not taking the world by storm. You know, you're not grabbing your life and saying, here's what I'm going to go do. You have no control over everything. You're just waiting. Stars may or may not align. And you're just sitting there. And it can then expire yourself. And what I mean by that is you just become stale. You don't evolve. You don't collect life's gift of experience, stories to tell, or anything like that, any growth. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the journey. If you're not on the journey, you're not on that path walking towards whatever you want to be walking towards.
I know.
You end up being stale. I mean, how many people we came in contact with that are just stale? They're just stuck. They're just no one wants to be around them for that long.
Well, I was gonna say I know a lot of people who don't like change. They just kind of just stick what they're doing. They don't like adventuring out. They don't like branching out.
Sure.
Some people are like that. But I get what you're saying. A completely stale person like,
you know, yeah, but I would then argue, I would then go into that. If you want to talk about that type of person, what the hell happened to them that they don't want to evolve? Why are they so complacent?
Because they're comfortable where they're at. They don't want to change. They don't like to change. They just don't want to.
Sure, they don't want to, but then you get into the topic of why. You ask the question, why don't you want to change? And a lot of them don't even have an answer.
I think a lot of them are scared.
But that is a waiter. That's somebody who's waiting. They're waiting because, you know, here, big shocker, big shot in the face here, life's going to change. It always does. Things always change. Prices go up. Sadly, people have to move on. They have to pass away. Mm-hmm. Things always happen in people's lives. They lose jobs. The company that they've been working for 25 years goes under because they're no longer needed in the economy. It happens all the time. So if you're letting the world change and then you have to adapt, you're waiting. You're not taking action. You're not evolving.
Well, there's many people I know as well that they're still living in the 70s and 80s. They don't want to change. They don't like the whole electronics and stuff.
Well, to each their own.
Exactly.
And you know, I give a lot of credit to older people who have played sort of a waiting game in a lot of the new technological things. But you know what? It's pretty funny when I see my grandparents on Facebook, on their smartphones. I mean, think about the technological sidetrack here. Think about the technological advances that these people have lived through. The radio,
sure.
The TV, going to the moon, whether you believe it's real or not. Now a laptop.
Walkman.
The Wi-Fi, the internet, Walkman, exactly. Think about all this. We came into the world and we already had it. We grasp it already. These people, they can only grasp so much. I mean,
well, it evolved a lot for us too, man.
It has, but I mean, it's exponentially more for them.
Right.
We're talking about them just having conversations with people. No technology. I mean, my grandma can sit in her house and FaceTime me and we can see each other.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather go back to the easier times. I'm serious. I think I would enjoy my time in the 70s. Too bad I wasn't a part of it.
Well, that you could watch a little movie. It's called Midnight in Paris. That's called like a golden era complex. And you believe that you would have had a better time in another era instead of your current one. The best things about this era, you can say, technology. There's pros and cons to it, but we can now sit here on our laptops and make money. We can get out of the 9 to 5 or working at the docks. I mean, we got to understand. I mean, these people went through the recession and the Great Depression, all this different stuff, and they had to work with their hands. I mean, I get it. If you're that type of person, then to each their own. But I'm just saying there are some positives to being in this world at this current time, because we're technically able to sort of make our own decisions on how we want to make a living. So I ask you, before we move on to taking actions, have you ever waited too long for something?
Sure.
Did it eventually come or did it not?
You wait too long and sometimes it just
goes away?
Yeah. Like, I'll use a little example for you.
What do you got?
Maybe just moseying around in high school. Mm-hmm. You see this girl you like. You just wait. Just wait. You talk to her, small talk it. But you don't make that move. You're just waiting. You're waiting for her to ask you out.
Yeah.
And you just...
Many dudes, many girls, they deal with the same thing.
So, I've waited, and then before I know it, she's going out with some other dude.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, many people even go through this now. They're still waiting.
Sure. So this was in high school, people.
Yeah.
But I waited. Didn't have the cojones to go and talk to her, but
what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? Life moves on. Things change.
I have evolved.
You have evolved. You have evolved. Me personally, I can relate it to getting a raise at my old job. Worked, never got a raise, saw everybody else get a raise, never walked into the boss, and I finally did it my last year there. This was my first job I ever had at the country club. I finally walked in and asked for a raise. The last year I was there, I got it because I've been an employee.
You were there for what, 4 years?
Never got one. People were
disgusting.
coming in and getting hired at a higher wage than I was making.
That's disgusting.
Exactly. And I finally went in and asked for it and grew a pair, and I got it. But then, I ended up leaving because I ended up getting a full-time job, so it ended up meaning nothing. But I waited too long. If I would do the math right now, I would have made thousands more.
Sure.
So that's what I'm talking about, waiting versus now taking action. You see, I took action, I got what I wanted. You got to create your own destiny here, people. I mean, if you're just waiting around, you're not controlling anything. You're not creating your own destiny. You have no control over anything. You can't just, and the biggest thing here is setting goals and achieving it. What do you want to achieve? It could be anything. It could be anything. The biggest thing is getting started. Once you get started, things start to flow. Sometimes you got to stop. Sometimes life hits you in the ass. But you got to keep going, and that's every successful person always says that. Just keep on going, no matter how much you get knocked down. If you believe in what you're trying to achieve, you'll achieve it. So how do you start? That's the cue. Well, came up with a couple things here. So write them down. Make notes in your phone. Really anything. Just start to bring it into fruition. You know what I'm saying? Put it out in the universe.
I'll make notes in my notepad.
In your notepad, I've been trying to actually write things down instead of using my technology.
It seems more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tangible?
No.
Physical?
No.
More like you actually put it out into the
Sure. That's the basis of what I'm trying to say, but I can't think of the word. But yes.
I get you. And what it does is, my next point, it helps you envision. It helps you envision the goal. You can't say, I want to be a rock star, and you never pick up a guitar, or you never pick up a musical instrument, or you never sing, or you never practice. I want to be a rock star.
That's totally me.
Totally me. Back in the day. Totally me. I just completely gave up on the whole singing thing. And, it is something that I do enjoy. It's something I still practice to this day, but I've never put an actual foot forward. So later in life, if I ever regret it, I know I didn't put the foot forward.
Get this. I said I want to learn to play the guitar, so I got a guitar, just bought a nice one. I want to learn how to play. I want to be in a band. I say I haven't touched a damn thing in 2 years.
You don't know one chord. It might still have a tag on it. It might.
And I still always talk about how I want to learn the guitar.
But see, you're waiting. What are you waiting for? See, this is exactly what I'm saying. So all you got to do is start small. One step at a time. You don't have to achieve everything. Everything is not going to be achieved. You're not going to become a rock star in 24 hours.
Well,
you have to. I know. Everything takes time. It's one step at a time. So coming up with a plan and doing something every day to get one step closer will not only allow yourself to feel better about what you're doing and give you more confidence in what you're trying to achieve, but also it's going to allow you to bring it into fruition. You're putting it out in the universe. You're doing what you want to be doing. And even if it fails in the end, even if you can't give it enough time, even if you never become a rock star, at least you put the best foot forward. Another thing you could do is come up with some SMART goals. Now, you learn this in marketing class.
Look at this guy.
SMART goals, which I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's SMART, so specific, measurable... Acronyms, yes, see? So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based goals. So every goal actually is achievable in some aspect. You can make sure it's specific, it's measurable. Okay, did I actually do it? Is it attainable? Can I actually do what I'm setting out to do? Is it relevant? It's not, I want to be an astronaut. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go do that, but I mean, the steps to get there is you got to know how to do it, and you got to go do it. So you can't just wake up one day, I want to be an astronaut, and you never put the foot forward. And then time-based. Give yourself a set amount of time to achieve something. And that's why I say one step at a time. Each day, one step closer. Okay, today, I'm going to play guitar for 25 minutes, and I'm just going to take action.
That's all it takes.
I'm just going to take action.
Yeah.
I was learning some different things about not only this topic, but just some life lessons. And this one guy I saw on social media, he was like, you know what? We give our mental space way too much time to doubt or to make things worse than it is. Like specifically going to the gym. We conjure up the worst possibility ever. I'm going to be in pain. I'm not going to be able to walk. I'm not going to be able to swing the golf club if I go golfing in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that people come up with when realistically, if you didn't think about it, you just got your ass up, grabbed your gym bag, got in the car, went to the gym, or picked up the weights that are even in your house. I mean, I struggle to even pick the weights up in the next room. Okay? Just get up and do it. Just get up and do it. If you're doing it and you're doing something that is good for yourself, you're not going to regret it. And
once you start second guessing yourself,
you're done. The battle is lost.
It's hard to rebound after that.
Exactly. And then another analogy that we could put towards this is retirement fund. Compound interest, the idea of that, like a Roth IRA or something like that. You put a little bit amount of money. I think a Roth IRA, you can put like $6,000 in per year. Okay, so you put that $6,000 in. If you start that at age 18, compound interest over time, by the time you're ready to retire, you got a couple mil sitting on your hands. And you didn't put in nearly $1 million, but you did put something in. And then over time, it compounds and grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. And eventually, you have what you set out to have, which is retirement wealth. Or in your sense, maybe you start a garage band. Maybe you never get out of the garage. Maybe you play a couple open mic nights, but at least you realize
that
you were on stage. You got there at some capacity. Now, whether you want to go further, that's all up to you. But that's all about taking action, people. Taking action. And the question I have for all of you to ask yourself, we don't have to necessarily get into it because I guess you guys got to kind of know what we get up and try and do every single day, grow this business, grow this brand. And that's what we found together that we're trying to do. But the question for you to think about as we sign off here is what is something that you wake up and chase every single day, whether it's the dollar, whether it's a promotion, whether it is to not be a 9-to-5 worker, whether it is to take your business to the next level, which is to, maybe franchise out if you already got a little small shop. It could be anything, but think about it. Are you taking action, or are you just sitting around and waiting? And that's really the only question to ask yourselves here after listening to this podcast or watching it. And if you are watching on YouTube, comment below.
Yeah.
Let's interact.
What are some of your goals?
Exactly. What are some of your goals?
Aspirations.
Exactly. So before we sign off, you have anything left to add?
I do actually. Just don't. You need some people around you too that'll give you some confidence. I think if you got a goal, get the right people around you to motivate you, man. That's important. They'll help you get through it, and just never give up.
Yeah,
I know it's corny as hell.
It's the biggest thing.
You set yourself a goal and just attack it in any direction. Just sink your teeth right in there and attack it.
You're right.
And never give up.
You're right, man. And surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded as well.
Exactly.
Not only motivational people, but
bounce the ideas off each other. Fucking
exactly.
make each other better.
Correct. And if you have people around you that are tearing you down or say, dude, you can't be a rock star. What the hell are you picking that up for? It's just negative energy, and it's not something that will help you. If you're somebody that can tune that out, by all means, power to you. That's awesome. But there's a lot of people that struggle with that. They can't tune it out, or they hear it long enough and they start to believe the negativity.
Mike,
so surround yourself.
You can't be a rock star.
I know. But you know what I'm saying? If you want to, start interacting, get yourself out of your comfort zone and go to Guitar Center. I'm just using Rockstar for an example here, but go to Guitar Center, talk to some of the associates. What's the best equipment? Just be around it. Be around what you want to be around. You want to get into sports betting, be around it.
Hey, even if someone wants to be the best damn janitor around, that's your goal.
Be around it.
Do it.
Look up videos, how to clean a toilet quicker than anybody.
Yeah, how to make it shiny as shit.
Anything. It could really be anything. You want to be the best shoe collector. I mean, we can go on and on and on about it. Educate yourself, surround yourself with like-minded people, get out of your comfort zone, and take action. Create your own destiny and stop waiting around. Who's saying that? Was it John Mayer? Waiting on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I could be a rock star with that voice. I'll tell you.
You're not wrong.
But
and I'm going to give you an amen on that.
Amen, brother. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Everybody stay looking good. Stay looking fresh. And we will see you in the next episode of Life and Betting.